Before your time runs out, there are truths you need to face. Truths that will shake the very foundation, what you believe about life. Everything you've been taught about success, happiness, and love has been a carefully crafted illusion. This isn't another feel-good pep talk, nor is it a gentle nudge towards self-improvement. This is the cold, unvarnished wisdom of the Stoics, a wisdom that will upend everything you thought you knew. Let's get real. The ideals you've been chasing, the dreams you've been sold, are built on shaky ground. Society has fed you a narrative, one that glorifies wealth as the measure of success, happiness as the ultimate goal, and love as the missing piece that will complete you. But these are all distractions, shadows on the wall that keep you running in circles while the true essence of life slips away, unnoticed. Take a look around you. We live in an age where people are more connected than ever, yet loneliness is an epidemic. We have more material wealth than any generation before us, yet we are starving for something deeper, something real. The pursuit of status, the chase for perfection, has left us more anxious, more isolated, and more unfulfilled than ever. This isn't what life was meant to be, a never-ending chase for things that ultimately leave you empty. It's time to peel back the layers of deception and see the world as it truly is. These lessons we're about to explore aren't easy. They will challenge your deepest convictions, forcing you to confront uncomfortable realities and question everything you've accepted as truth. But if you're willing to endure the discomfort, if you're ready to break free from the illusions, these lessons will guide you toward a life of purpose, a life that truly matters. Prepare yourself, because this journey will be unsettling. But remember, discomfort is the crucible in which true growth is forged. The path ahead requires courage, but it also offers the opportunity for profound transformation. So stay with us. Let these truths sink in, allow them to reshape your perspective, and in return, they will unlock a deeper, more authentic way of living. If what you hear today resonates with you, don't just walk away. Commit. Subscribe to our channel, become part of a community that values truth over comfort, and share your own journey in the comments below. Let's explore together how these ancient principles can help us live, not just exist, but thrive, in a world that often feels overwhelming. This is your chance to redefine what it means to truly live. Let's begin. Number 1, your comfort zone is your coffin. What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. Ralph Waldo Emerson. Have you ever wondered why the most rewarding experiences in life are often the most uncomfortable? The answer is simple. Growth only happens when you push yourself beyond the limits of comfort. Your comfort zone, that place where everything feels safe and familiar, is not a sanctuary. It's a trap. It's the place where dreams go to wither, where your potential is buried alive, suffocated by the very comfort you seek. Stoicism teaches us that the path to greatness is paved with challenges, not ease. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." It's not in avoiding discomfort that we find our true selves, but in embracing it. The comfort zone is seductive. It tells you that you've earned the right to take it easy, to avoid risks, play it safe. But every time you give in to this temptation, you sacrifice a piece of your future, a slice of the life you could be living. Consider this. How many times have you stayed in a job that didn't fulfill you because it was convenient? How often have you lingered in relationships that drained your energy simply because they were familiar? The truth is, the comfort zone is not a place of refuge, the graveyard for your aspiration. Think of the artist who refuses to experiment with new techniques because they fear failure, or the entrepreneur who sticks to the same old business model, even though the market is shifting beneath their feet. What do they have in common? They are trapped in the comfort zone, and it's robbing them of growth, creativity, ultimately, success. If you want to lead a life of meaning, you must be willing to step into the unknown. You must learn to see discomfort not as an enemy, but as an ally. Start with small steps. Say yes to opportunities that scare you. Take on challenges that push you beyond your current capabilities. Surround yourself with people who inspire and challenge you. Each time you do, you take another step toward unlocking your true potential. Let me share a different story with you. There was a time when I was offered a leadership position in a field I had little experience in. It was daunting, and every fiber of my being wanted to decline, to stay in the comfortable role I already knew well. Deep down, I knew that staying where I was meant stagnation. I accepted the role, despite my fears, and the challenges that followed were immense. But it was through those challenges that I discovered strengths I never knew I had. Skills I would never have developed if I had stayed in my comfort zone. Your comfort zone is not a refuge. It is a slow, insidious poison, dulls your spirit. Break free from it, and you'll find that discomfort is the catalyst for the most profound personal growth. It is in the crucible of challenges that you will discover your true strength, wisdom, and authenticity. Remember, the comfort zone is where potential goes to die, but every time you step out of it, you breathe life back into your aspiration. The journey may be uncomfortable, even painful, but the rewards, clarity of purpose, depth of character, and a life lived fully, are worth every ounce of effort. So ask yourself, will you let the comfort zone become your coffin, or will you break free and live the life you were meant to live? The choice is yours, but the time to decide is now. Number 2, expectation is the root of misery. Why do we suffer so deeply when things don't go our way? Is it the world that's to blame, or is it our own expectations that set us up for despair? Seneca once remarked, "He is the most powerful who has power over himself." This statement captures a fundamental truth about the human condition. Much of our suffering comes not from the external events of our lives, but from our internal expectations. We set ourselves up for misery by expecting the world to conform to our desires, believing that life should unfold exactly as we have envisioned. But the universe doesn't operate on our terms. It moves with its own rhythm, indifferent to our plans and indifferent to our demand. Take a moment to reflect on the last time you felt let down. Perhaps it was a friend who didn't show up when you needed them most, or a promotion that never materialized despite your hard work. We often build our expectations as though they were castles of glass, fragile, vulnerable to the slightest misstep of reality. And when those expectations shatter, we find ourselves surrounded by the sharp edges of disappointment and hurt. The Stoics teach us that to find peace, we must lower our expectations, not as a form of cynicism, but as a means of liberation. By releasing the tight grip we have on how we think things should be, we open ourselves up to the possibility of finding joy in how things actually are. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, advises, "Accept whatever comes to you woven in the pattern of your destiny, for what could more aptly fit your needs?" This isn't a call to passivity, but a call to wisdom. To understand that the less you demand from life, the more life can surprise you with its quiet gifts. To practice this, start by questioning the roots of your own expectations. Are they based on reality, or are they shaped by ideals that no human or situation could ever truly meet? Release yourself from the need for control. Focus on your actions and your responses. Only things truly within your grasp. The world owes you nothing, and realizing this is the first step towards inner freedom. Imagine, for instance, you've spent years training for a marathon, expecting to finish in a personal best time. But on race day, an injury forces you to withdraw. If your happiness hinged solely on crossing the finish line, you'd be left with nothing but frustration. But if you focus on the journey, on the discipline, the strength you built, and the resilience you developed, you'll see that the experience was valuable, regardless of the outcome. Your worth is not tied to your expectations. It is tied to your ability to accept what is and to make the best of it. Key here is adaptability. Life is a series of unexpected twists and turns. When you lower your expectations, you are not settling for less. You are freeing yourself from the chains of disappointment. You learn to flow with life's unpredictable currents. Find peace in the face of uncertainty. Remember, expectations are like a mirage in the desert. Closer you think you are to reaching them, further away they seem, and every step you take towards that illusion is a step away from contentment. Instead, practice gratitude. Focus on the present moment and appreciate what is in front of you. Let go of what you think should happen and embrace what is happening. So ask yourself, are you willing to let go of the burden of expectations? Can you find contentment in the reality of now, rather than in the fantasy of what could be? Because if you can, you will unlock the secret to a more peaceful, more fulfilled existence. Choice is yours, and the path is clear. Release your expectations, and discover the freedom that lies on the other side. Number 3. Friends are not forever. Is it possible that the only constant in our lives is change itself? And if that's true, what does it mean for our friendships? Heraclitus once famously said, "No man ever steps in the same river twice, for it's not the same river and he's not the same man." This captures the essence of friendship. We often hold on to the notion that friendships are eternal, that the people who matter to us now will always be a part of our lives. But the truth is, friendships are fluid, ever-changing, just like the river Heraclitus described. People grow, their paths diverge, and sometimes the connections we thought would last forever fade away. The Stoics teach us to accept the impermanence of all things, including our relationships. Nothing in life is permanent. The sooner we accept this reality, the sooner we can find peace in the natural ebb and flow of human connection. Friends, like seasons, come and go, each bringing its own lessons, joys, and challenges. And just as we do not mourn the passing of winter into spring, we should not cling too tightly to friendships that have served their time. Think about your own life. How many friends have you had who seemed indispensable at one point, only to fade into the background as time moved on? Maybe there was a colleague you confided in daily, a neighbor who was like family, or a travel companion with whom you shared countless adventures. These friendships felt like they would last forever, but life had other plans. Perhaps they moved away, their priorities shifted, or you simply grew in different directions. It is not a tragedy. It is the natural progression of life. To navigate this reality, we must learn to cherish each moment without clinging to it. Every friendship has its season. Instead of mourning what was, focus on the joy it brought you, the lessons you learned, and the growth it spurred. Just as Marcus Aurelius advised in his Meditations, accept everything which happens, even if it seems disagreeable, because it leads to the health of the universe and the prosperity of Zeus. In other words, trust in the natural course of things. If a friendship fades, it's making room for new connections, new experiences, and new opportunities for growth. So, how do we live this truth in a practical way? Start by letting go of the expectation that every friend will be a lifelong companion. Appreciate the moments you have with them now. Engage fully, listen deeply, and enjoy the time together without worrying about the future. When a friendship seems to be drifting apart, don't rush to fix it or force it to stay the same. Instead, allow it to evolve, or if necessary, to end. This doesn't mean you value it any less. It means you are respecting the natural rhythm of life. Another practical step is to cultivate a sense of inner completeness. Be your own best friend, finding comfort and joy in your own company. This makes you less reliant on others for your happiness and more resilient when relationships change or fade. Engage in self-reflection, practice gratitude, and continuously work on personal growth. When you are centered and whole within yourself, you are better able to accept the impermanence of external relationships without fear or desperation. Remember, friendships are like the stars in the sky. Some burn brightly for a short time while others shine steadily for years. But none of them are truly permanent. They all play a role in the grand tapestry of your life, contributing to your journey in their unique way. Accept this, and you free yourself from the pain of attachment, opening yourself up to the beauty of the present moment and the endless possibilities of the future. Embrace the impermanence of friendships, and you'll find that each connection becomes more meaningful, not because it lasts forever, but because you learn to appreciate its presence while it's here. This is how you let go without losing the love you once shared, by understanding that its value is not diminished by its end, but enhanced by its existence. Number 4. Sacrifice is essential. What are you prepared to let go of to become who you are meant to be? Aristotle once said, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. This wisdom reflects a profound truth about sacrifice. It's not a one-time event, but a continuous commitment to prioritizing what matters most. In a world obsessed with immediate gratification and comfort, the The concept of sacrifice may seem old-fashioned, even unnecessary, but the reality is stark. Nothing truly valuable comes without it. The road to meaningful achievement is paved with choices about what to keep and what to leave behind. Think of your greatest accomplishments. Did they come effortlessly, or did they require you to forgo something you once held dear? Sacrifice is not about loss. It's about trade-offs. To climb a mountain, you must be willing to leave the comfort of the valley behind. You cannot reach new heights by staying grounded in what is safe and familiar. It is through sacrifice that we make space for growth, opportunities, for a version of ourselves that we haven't yet discovered. Consider the example of an athlete training for a championship. They sacrifice late nights, junk food, and even time with loved ones, not out of deprivation, but as a deliberate choice to achieve a goal greater than their present comforts. The weight of their sacrifice is matched only by the weight of their ambition. And it's this willingness to endure short-term discomfort that lays the foundation for long-term success. The Stoics teach us that sacrifice is not a burden, but a means to an end. Epictetus said, "No great thing is created suddenly, any more than a bunch of grapes or a fig. If you tell me that you desire a fig, I answer you that there must be time. Let it first blossom, then bear fruit, then ripen." The essence of this lesson is patience and prioritization. You cannot have it all at once. You must choose, and in choosing, you must let go of what does not serve your higher purpose. So how do we apply this in our daily lives? Start by identifying your long-term goals and the values that are most important to you. What are the dreams that keep you awake at night? The passions that drive you forward? Once you know these, take a hard look at your current lifestyle. What habits, comforts, or even relationships are standing in the way of your progress? Are you willing to make the necessary sacrifices to pursue your purpose? If your goal is to build a meaningful career, you may need to sacrifice leisure time or put certain hobbies on hold. If your goal is to cultivate deeper relationships, you might have to sacrifice time spent on social media or other distractions. Remember, every act of sacrifice is a statement about your priorities. It is a declaration to yourself and the world about what matters most to you. Sacrifice also means embracing the discomfort that comes with growth. It's about choosing the uphill path, knowing that each step, though hard, takes you closer to your destination. It's about saying no to the easy pleasures that offer immediate gratification, but little else. Sacrifice is the fire that forges character, the crucible that reveals who you are when comfort and ease are stripped away. Think of sacrifice not as something you lose, but as an investment in your future self. Just as a gardener prunes a tree to encourage stronger growth, you must be willing to prune your life of excess, of distractions, of anything that doesn't contribute to your ultimate purpose. The act of sacrifice clears the path, allowing you to focus your energy on what truly matters. Remember, the act of sacrifice is a bridge between who you are and who you could become. It's a necessary part of the journey to excellence, a process of refining your focus and determination. Embrace it, and you will find that the discomfort is temporary. The rewards are enduring. So what are you willing to sacrifice today for a better tomorrow? The answer to this question will shape the course of your life, guiding you towards a future that reflects your highest values and deepest desires. Choose wisely, and don't fear the sacrifice. Instead, see it as the price of entry to a life of meaning and fulfillment. Number 5. Stop chasing love. Have you ever noticed that the things we pursue most desperately are often the ones that remain out of reach? What if love is not something to be hunted down, but something to be cultivated from within? Plato once said, "At the touch of love, everyone becomes a poet." This reminds us that love is not a conquest or a destination, but a state of being, transformation of the self that cannot be forced. Society has ingrained in us the belief that love is something we must chase, something to be captured and held on to. But the reality is much different. Love finds us when we are not looking, when we are fully engaged in the act of living our best lives. Think about the times when you've chased love. You might have found yourself on countless dates, modifying your behavior to match what you thought others wanted, or feeling empty when things didn't work out. The harder you tried to force love, the more it seemed to slip away, leaving behind only frustration and a sense of inadequacy. The truth is, the more you chase love, the more it eludes you, because love, like happiness, cannot be cornered or coerced. The Stoics teach us to focus on what we can control: our thoughts, our action, our inner peace. Chasing love places your happiness in the hands of someone else, turning your sense of self-worth into something external, something fleeting. Instead of searching for love, the Stoic approach is to cultivate it within yourself first. Be the source of your own fulfillment. Marcus Aurelius wisely advised, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." When you find contentment within, you no longer need to look for it elsewhere. So how do we shift our mindset from chasing love to attracting it naturally? Begin with self-love. Focus on your growth, your passion, your happiness. Invest in activities that light you up from within, that make you feel alive and fulfilled. When you are genuinely engaged in your own life, doing things that make you happy, you radiate a confidence and joy that naturally draws others to you. Instead of chasing romantic prospects, build meaningful connections based on shared values and interests. Engage deeply with those around you, not with the intention of finding love, but with the goal of fostering genuine human connection. Let relationships develop organically, free from the pressure of expectations or the fear of being alone. Love should not be a checklist or a goal. It should be a natural evolution that grows from a foundation of mutual respect and shared purpose. For example, consider someone who has always been focused on finding the perfect partner to feel complete. They spent years searching, adapting themselves to fit the mold of what they thought others wanted, only to find themselves in a series of unfulfilling relationships. Then, one day, they decided to focus on their own happiness, to pursue their own passion, and to surround themselves with friends and activities that brought them joy. In doing so, they discovered that love came naturally when they were no longer searching for it. It found them when they were busy living authentically and fully, without the burden of expectation. Remember, love is like a garden. It cannot be forced to bloom on demand, but it can be nurtured through patience, care, and self-awareness. Tend to your own garden, cultivate your own sense of peace and purpose, and love will grow there as naturally as flowers in springtime. It's not about completing yourself through someone else, but about being whole and happy on your own. So, stop chasing love. Focus on being the best version of yourself. Let love come as a welcome companion on the journey, not as the destination. The more you live a life true to your values, the more likely you are to find a love that complements, rather than completes, your already fulfilling life. Remember, love is not a prize to be won, but a gift that finds you when you least expect it. Live fully, live authentically, and love will follow. Number 6. The majority is often wrong. Have you ever wondered why truth and wisdom are so often found on the fringes rather than in the mainstream? Socrates famously said, "The unexamined life is not worth living." This statement is a powerful reminder that conformity and uncritical acceptance of popular beliefs often lead us away from truth and wisdom. Majority opinion, while comforting in its familiarity, is not a reliable guide to what is right or true. History shows us countless examples where the crowd was not only wrong, but catastrophically so. Just because an idea is widely accepted does not make it correct. In fact, the opposite is often true. What is popular is frequently an oversimplification, convenient half-truth designed to keep us complacent. The Stoics teach us the importance of independence in thought and action. Marcus Aurelius advised, "Do not be embarrassed by the simplicity of your path. Everyone around you will mock you, but remember, you are on the way to truth." The lesson here is clear. True wisdom often requires us to stand apart from the crowd, to resist the pull of consensus, and to have the courage to think for ourselves. Think about the times you followed the majority because it was easier, because it felt safer, or simply because everyone else was doing it. Perhaps it was a decision at work where you went along with the popular opinion, even though your instincts told you otherwise. Or maybe it was in your social life, where you stayed silent rather than expressing an unpopular viewpoint. The fear of standing alone can be powerful, but this fear is precisely what the Stoics urge us to overcome. To be wise, we must be willing to question, to challenge, and to explore our own path, even if that means standing against the majority. So how do we apply this principle of challenging the majority in our own lives? Start by cultivating a mindset of inquiry. When faced with a widely held belief or popular opinion, don't just accept it. Ask yourself critical questions. Who is promoting this idea? What are their motives? Is there evidence that supports this view, or is it built on assumptions? Educate yourself from a variety of sources, especially those that challenge your current beliefs. This will help you develop a more nuanced understanding of the world and strengthen your ability to discern truth from illusion. Next, practice the art of solitude in thought. Allow yourself time away from the noise of the crowd to reflect, to think deeply, and to understand what you truly believe. Seneca advised, associate with those who will make better man of you. Welcome those whom you yourself can improve. This is not about isolating yourself, but about choosing your influences wisely. Surround yourself with people who challenge your thinking, who are not afraid to disagree with you, and who encourage intellectual growth. Remember, being in the minority does not mean you are wrong. It often means you are exploring truths that others have not yet discovered. Wisdom is not a democratic process. It does not emerge from consensus, but from a relentless pursuit of truth. The majority might follow the easy, well-trodden path, but the path to wisdom is rarely so clear-cut. It is a journey that requires courage, conviction, and the willingness to stand alone when necessary. So ask yourself, are you willing to challenge the prevailing winds of popular opinion? Can you stand firm in your beliefs, even when they set you apart from the crowd? Because in doing so, you align yourself not with the transient opinions of the masses, but with the enduring truths that stand the test of time. The majority is often wrong. You have the choice to seek your own truth. Choose wisely, think deeply, and walk your path with courage. Number 7. Patience is power. Why is it that the most meaningful things in life take the longest to achieve? The ancient philosopher Lao Tzu once wrote, "Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished." This quote beautifully encapsulates the essence of patience, a virtue that is increasingly rare in a world fixated on immediate gratification. We live in an age where everything is at our fingertips, from information to instant success stories. Yet, the wisdom of the Stoics reminds us that true power lies not in the ability to rush forward, but in the ability to wait, to endure, and to persist. Patience, in the Stoic sense, is not about passive waiting. It is about active endurance. It is the quiet strength that allows us to persevere through life's challenges without giving in to frustration or despair. In a society that celebrates speed and efficiency, patience might seem like a weakness. But in reality, it is one of the greatest forms of resilience. It is the strength to hold firm, to stay the course, even when everything around you pushes for haste. Think of the farmer who plants a seed. He does not stand over it, demanding it grow faster. He waters it, nurtures it, and trusts that, in time, with care and attention, it will bear fruit. The same principle applies to our lives. The most profound achievements, whether it's building a meaningful career, nurturing a deep relationship, or cultivating inner peace, require time and patience. Just as a diamond is formed under pressure over millions of years, so too are we shaped by our ability to endure over time. So how can we develop patience in a world that seems to have forgotten its value? Start by shifting your mindset. Instead of viewing patience as a form of waiting, see it as an active state of being. Practice being present in each moment, fully engaging with where you are, rather than always looking to what's next. This could mean taking a deep breath when you feel the urge to rush, or reminding yourself that good things take time when you're faced with a delay. Another practical step is to set realistic goals and expectations. Recognize that worthwhile achievements do not happen overnight. They require sustained effort and a commitment, the long game. When you find yourself growing impatient, ask yourself, why am I in such a hurry? What am I afraid of missing? Often, impatience is born out of a fear of missing out or not measuring up. By grounding yourself in the present and focusing on the process rather than the outcome, you can alleviate some of this anxiety. Moreover, embrace the setbacks and failures as part of your journey. The Stoics believed that obstacles are not barriers, but opportunities for growth. As Epictetus famously said, "The greater the difficulty, the more glory in surmounting it." Skillful pilots gain their reputation from storms and tempests. Learn to see delays and obstacles not as frustrations, but as opportunities to build resilience and character. Each challenge is a chance to practice patience, to grow stronger, and to deepen your understanding of yourself and the world. Consider this: a young artist who dreams of mastering their craft. They spend hours perfecting their technique, only to feel that progress is slow, that the journey is far longer than anticipated. Yet, with each brushstroke, each attempt, they are not just creating art. They are cultivating patience, building the foundation for their future success. It is not the rush to the finish line that defines them, but their willingness to stay, to persist, to grow in the stillness. Remember, patience is not merely the ability to wait, but the ability to keep a good attitude while waiting. It is a testament to your inner strength and your belief in the process. The world may rush around you, but when you embrace patience, you become like the calm eye of the storm, centered, focused, and unfazed by the chaos. So ask yourself, are you willing to slow down, to trust in the process, and to cultivate the quiet strength of patience? Because in doing so, you unlock a power far greater than speed, power to endure, to grow, and to achieve something truly meaningful. Embrace patience and discover that it is not just a virtue, but a superpower that can shape your destiny and transform your life. We have covered some stark realities today, challenging you to confront life from a new angle, question what you've always believed, and to discover strength in the unlikeliest of places. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body." These lessons aren't here to make you comfortable. They're here to shake you up, force you to see beyond the superficial, and to dig deeper into the true essence of what it means to live a meaningful life. Life is not meant to be a smooth, straight path. It is a labyrinth filled with twists and turns, trials and unexpected triumphs. Each lesson we've explored acts like a compass, helping you navigate through the complexities and uncertainties of existence, urging you to grow, adapt, and become more authentic to who you really are. Understand this: life will always present challenges, and that's not only normal, but necessary. These challenges are the crucibles in which our character is forged and our wisdom is shaped. It's perfectly okay to struggle, to feel lost, or to question your direction. This discomfort is not a sign of failure, but a signal of growth. Just like a sculptor chips away at stone to reveal the masterpiece within, each struggle, each moment of doubt, carves away at what is unnecessary, revealing your true self. To live a fulfilled life, you must embrace the imperfections and uncertainties come with it. Release the need to control every outcome or to achieve perfection. Instead, grant yourself the grace to grow, to stumble, and to rise again. Life is not a race, but a journey, each step building upon the last, each misstep teaching you something invaluable. Look around and see that you are not alone on this journey. Every person you meet is navigating their own trials, facing their own fears, and learning their own lessons. There is strength in this shared experience. While your path is uniquely yours, the struggles and triumphs are universal. Draw upon this common thread that binds us all together, our humanity. Connect with others, learn from them, but also take time to connect deeply with yourself. Find solitude and peace within your own mind. This is where true strength lies. These lessons are not mere philosophies to ponder, they are calls to action. They challenge you to live with intention, push against the easy road, and to find beauty not just in the successes, but in the struggles themselves. They are invitations to dig deeper, to ask harder questions, and to find joy in the journey, no matter how winding or unpredictable it may be. Remember, life is fleeting and full of unknowns, but within this uncertainty lies immense potential and beauty. Before you reach the end of your journey, embrace these truths. Let them be your guides and your challenges. Let them empower you to live boldly, to love without reservation, and to always, always seek the wisdom that exists both within and around you. This is your life, a canvas waiting for your strokes, a story yet to be written. Make it extraordinary. Thank you for joining me on this journey, and remember, the road ahead is yours to define. I encourage you to take a moment to reflect on the 7 Stoic lessons we've discussed today. Share in the comments which one had the most impact on you and how you've seen it play out in your own life. Your experiences could inspire others and help us build a community of growth and understanding. And if these lessons resonated with you, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. Stay tuned for more insights on living a purposeful life through Stoic wisdom. Share this video with someone who might benefit from these ideas, and let's continue this journey of self-discovery and growth together. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.